Welcome to the Care Right podcast, your go-to resource for all things elder care. Guiding us through this journey is Annalee Kruger, the founder of Care Right Incorporated, and she has been steadfastly supporting families across the United States. Each episode brings you expert insights, innovative strategies, and practical advice, ensuring that you're well equipped to provide the best possible care for your loved ones. Expect to gain valuable knowledge, learn from real-life stories, and get inspired to take action in your own caregiving journey. So buckle up as we dive into an in-depth discussion of elder care planning and together embrace the journey of caring for aging loved ones on the Care Right podcast.
Hi everyone, this is Annalee Kruger with Care Right Incorporated. Thank you for joining the Caregiver Crisis podcast with us again today. I am really excited to have Kathy as our guest today. And this is why, because Kathy and I have partnered together to be able to offer a completely unique experience for family caregivers, especially those who are dealing in the dementia journey or in the dementia journey. Kathy and I are both pioneers in our industry and have been for many years. As if you've been to any of the Care Right podcasts, you know that with my company, with Care Right, we work with family caregivers all across the country. We are family caregiver consultants and virtual patient advocates, meaning we help families facilitate the family meetings to talk about the what-whens of aging. We all know that we don't get healthier, more able-bodied, more independent as we age. So we want to be putting an aging plan in place so that when things change with our parents' health or your health, you have a plan in place. You understand how much care costs in your area, where you might go to receive the type of care that you will need. You'll have your grab and go binder documents all in order, and they'll be updated and communicated with your family. You'll have everything, just all things aging, buttoned up. As many of our clients that we work with Care Right are also in the throes of dementia. And we know how overwhelming caregiving is in general, let alone caregiving to a loved one with memory impairment that is a 24/7 job as the disease progresses. And that's where Miss Kathy comes in. Because while we put aging plans and dementia plans in place so that you as a caregiver don't get burned out because you understand the disease process, you understand what care options are available and how to layer different care solutions so that your loved one isn't home alone by themselves, then you have to worry. And a lot of times people that are in the throes of dementia or families who are dealing with dementia, they often feel like they can't travel anymore because mom is too demented or my wife is too demented to travel. And that's not necessarily the case. And this is where Kathy comes in. So Kathy, I am so excited to have you as our guest today. Why don't you give them your who is Kathy and what does Kathy do?
I am Kathy. I own Elite Cruises and Vacations. But before that ever happened, I am a geriatric neurology nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I was the manager of long-term care, independent living, assisted living for many years. And out of that experience of managing care in families, I decided that there just had to be a way that families still get to enjoy life with their loved ones. And just because we have a diagnosis does not mean that we don't still get to have fun. Now, is that a challenge? Oh yeah, it's a challenge, but it is so incredibly worth it to make those amazing memories with your loved ones, your parents, your spouse, your aunt, your loved one, at whatever relationship they are, having those memories of happiness when this journey is over is what you honestly get to hold in your heart and hold as special and lets you create happiness and joy out of a very challenging situation. So we create dementia-friendly caregiver retreat cruises. And to this date, I have completed 54 of those. We have traveled all over the world, from Alaska to the Caribbean, to the Panama Canal, Mexican Riviera. And this year we're going to be going to Europe. So we are excited for opportunities to let caregivers and their loved ones have fun together and creating an opportunity for caregivers to actually learn and be able to leave this highly white glove catered approach to taking care of them. It wasn't long ago that I was on a cruise with a group of caregivers, and one of the spouses looked at me and said, Kathy, if you don't give me something to hang on to when I leave this cruise, after you have toodled us, taken care of him, and done everything for us that I could have imagined, I'm leaving him with you. There has to be a piece of this fun that gives our caregivers something to hold on to and gives them a realistic, actual approach to handling the process of this disease when they are back at home on their own. And so the privilege of partnering with Annalee is amazing. And I'm excited for the opportunity to create real life, usable value to the approach of having fun, enjoying life, but let's take home with you something that truly, honestly matters.
You brought up a good point, Kathy, about creating memories. We all have a finite time with our loved ones. And rather than feeling like an overwhelmed, burned out, frustrated, angry, resentful caregiver, wouldn't it be cool to actually have an aging plan in place so that when things change, you literally pull up the plan and be like, okay, this is what we do now, right? Because we have the aging plan. But also marrying that with this like spectacular cruise experience. So you're getting like double, remember those commercials, double mint gum? You get double the pleasure because you've got the folks that sign up for this cruise and participate in this cruise, and I'll have you go through what those details look like and like the level of high touch that you provide on these dementia friendly cruises. But all of the people who sign up for the cruise, they'll get an aging plan when they leave the ship, meaning they'll have seminars and educational opportunities, time to meet with me individually and one-on-one where you can share your unique story about your situation and what keeps you up at night. And you can leave the ship with, okay, here's what we're going to have as far as like a framework of a plan. And then if families want more time or a more robust plan, a more comprehensive plan, then there's the opportunity to re-engage on that type of service level as well. But at least on the cruise, we'll be talking about the emotional, the financial, the physical toll on family caregivers, how to still bring back that romantic spark if you're married to someone with memory impairment and feeling disengaged because your role is primarily caregiver versus spouse. That doesn't always feel good. We'll talk about the grab and go binder and all the different documents you should have in place and making sure that everything is in order so that as things change, you don't have to worry about scrambling and getting a hold of an attorney because, oh, I didn't even think about a power of attorney document. So we're going to be talking about how to safeguard yourself as a caregiver so that you don't lose touch with who you are. Everybody who comes on the cruise will also get either a folder or a binder with our handouts, with the grab and go binder printed out. Everybody will also get a complimentary copy of my book, The Invisible Patient, the emotional, financial, and physical toll on family caregivers. So this cruise is value packed and jam packed with all tools that family caregivers need to maintain their sanity, their emotional, physical, and financial health, and still feel good about what they do at the end of the day. Tell me the details of like how high touch is this type of cruise that you've created? 54.
And as part of our standard programming, we begin at the airport. We meet and greet every single family as they arrive at the airport, handle their luggage, take mom to the bathroom, get them into a private black car over to the group hotel, which will be for the night before the cruise. We then have a meet and greet in the evening, have some dinner together, and then the next morning go to the cruise together. We are staffed at one professional to every 3 travelers. And there is an RN, not just me, there are other RNs, available for assistance 24/7. So if we have a problem in the night, Matilda gets up and doesn't want to go back to bed, or she's trying to get out of the room, whatever the situation is, we are hands-on available, period. You will have all of our phone numbers, all of our cabin numbers, and know exactly how to access the assistance immediately. In addition to that, we provide extra care possibilities, which include accompanied flights, private duty caregivers one-on-one for the entire cruise, personal care assistance, bathing and dressing assistance, and whatever kind of additional support any family requests. We are one-on-one setting up what works for each family and how it best fits into their parameters with their loved one. We keep everything all-inclusive priced. So this isn't some kind of a jumbled mess. The pricing totally depends on the kind of cabin that you choose and the support fees and Annalee's educational programming. It's all tied in so that you don't have to worry about who paid for what and who went where. We will handle all of the support, including providing insurance. Everybody needs to travel with insurance. The United States Medicare program does not cover us once we leave the US. And so we need health insurance, and we also need coverage to get this cruise cost returned if there is a reason that you cannot travel. So there is insurance for both of the options to cover our support and the cruise. And I'm explaining that one family at a time so that everybody gets the kind of situation that they're comfortable with. We are quick to supply all kinds of adaptable equipment, manual wheelchairs, elevated toilet seats, detachable shower heads, shower stools, all of those kind of pieces of equipment that keep everyone safe. We will either rent it or provide it through the ship, or my staff brings it. We will make sure that everybody has the best possibility of having fun. And sometimes it just means that we're going to push mom in a wheelchair and let her see. Let her look at the whales out the window. Let her go to the Caribbean and stick her feet in the ocean one more time in a beach wheelchair. We are going to be able to create moments of joy. Let's just have fun. Let's look at a glass bottom boat. Let's look at experiences that let you have some rum tasting. And I'm more than capable of giving a clue to the bartender that this one needs to have non-alcoholic tasting options. But those kind of choices are all yours. We do not exclude your loved one from any piece of this unless you guys tell me that's more appropriate for you. We are constantly on board with what's happening and what needs to happen. We have caregiver circles during breakfast. So your loved ones eat with my staff, and then we have caregivers at a couple tables, and we just try to mesh each other's experiences into what now becomes amazing information. There is never a time that I do not learn something new from one of my clients. And I'm still struggling with my dad diminishing in all of his abilities from dementia. And I learn tips and tricks and ideas every time I meet new people. So we just try to help you guys have an open mind and open thought that this situation that you're living through is survivable with the proper information and the proper tools so that the caregiver doesn't end up passing away before their loved one. And that is painfully a realistic statement.
Yeah.
I am your poster child. I came very close to being one of the statistics. And by the grace of God, I was not. But I need to learn from what I teach. I'm very good at what I teach and not nearly as good at doing it. But I need you guys to understand that the pieces of information that you have will help you figure out the plan that's best for you.
And life doesn't have to end because of a diagnosis. You talked about that in the beginning of this podcast. Life doesn't have to just stop or end. You can still have those moments of joy, even if mom's not going to remember this cruise, but you will. And you'll have the pictures of her laughing and smiling and dancing or tasting that non-alcoholic rum and all those kind of fun things, because it's so easy, because you and I are both caregivers, right? So it's easy to lose yourself in this journey, and it's easy to end up feeling incredibly lonely and isolated because you think you're the only one in this boat. Haha. You think you're the only one in this situation, and you're not. There are over 60 million family caregivers. That's just in the United States. So I am so excited for this partnership, and I just absolutely love how white glove approach or high touch this is, because I work with a lot of families who are like, I guess our traveling days are over because the airport is too much stimulation for my husband, or I'm afraid to lose him if he has to go to the bathroom and he wanders off. So you can tell that you are so seasoned in what these families need, so that you've solved for some of those anxieties that come up when people have to think about planning a trip. You've already put the solutions in place. So I love that you have created this, like, such a unique business that is such a service business for these families, so that life doesn't have to feel like it's over.
I want everybody to acknowledge, if you do not have a diagnosis, we all have a diagnosis. Every single one of us has something. And I don't want to be told to sit in the corner and watch the TV for the rest of my life. There's nothing wrong with TV, but I want to know that there's something else out there that lets me still have fun.
Yeah.
And the opportunities to laugh and to giggle and to try something new. Let's try a reindeer pate. Let's try something that's absolutely uniquely different. We do a lot of conversations about neuroplasticity, opening up new pathways with senses that are different, new, exciting, and it really does increase the ability to be alert. And the opportunities to still see mom happy. Just watch her laugh. Just watch her have a good time. And it just brings so much warmth and happiness to your heart by experiencing that opportunity with her.
So this cruise, let's just be clear. So this cruise, the whole family can come.
Absolutely.
The kid,
Absolutely.
the spouse, like this could be a family cruise.
And I want to be really clear that when you look at our pricing, we are pricing for the client with a challenge and their primary caregiver. And as I am a certified travel agent, so I will extend to the rest of the family my contractual rate for this travel experience that I have with the cruise lines. We want everyone to come. We want you to be there. We want you to experience learning and developing ideas with Annalee, and we want you to experience happy moments with mom. You know, the opportunity to just step back for a second and let yourself listen to ideas that can help this whole family put some of this stress on hold. We've been traveling recently with several extended families, and that's the piece. They all need to get on the same page.
Yeah.
And then they all need to figure out what they feel is going to be the most appropriate way to assist mom and dad or sister or whoever this client is. But it's really important that everybody gets to see and experience those ideas together.
And the timing could not be better, because this is right before Christmas. So this could make a really great Christmas present as well. So tell us about, like, that type of the detail of this cruise. When is it? Where are we going?
We are going to go on November the 30th, which is the weekend following Thanksgiving. We are going to depart from Fort Lauderdale, Florida for 7 days. So it returns on December 7. We are going to sail on Holland Americas, one of their new high echelon 5-star ships. A beautiful ship, lovely conference space for us to use, and beautiful walk-in showers in the bathrooms. And we are going to go to the Western Caribbean. We will spend the first day at Holland America's private island. And then we will spend a day in Jamaica and a day in the Cayman Islands and a day in Cozumel, Mexico. And it's a great itinerary. It gives us the chance to see and do and touch and feel, and then it gives us time on the ship. The part that I left out is every afternoon, we will include adult daycare programming for your loved one. So a minimum of 2 to 3 hours every day is already built in to our programming. You will have adult daycare in an enclosed conference space for total safety with certified dementia activity specialists creating activities that will keep your loved one happy and engaged. Music therapy, art therapy, games, puzzles, different activities for different clients as to what they love. And the goal is when we come back from going to wine tasting or wherever we've been while they're busy, that they are all happy. Mm-hmm. And when they are all happy and they're all having fun, then all of a sudden, you know that it was really okay that I went to wine tasting. It was really okay that I went and got that amazing massage. Or maybe I just went out on the deck, took a walk, and decided to scream at the ocean for a while. But whatever you do to get away during that time, we create that specifically into the agenda every day so that you have moments of total and complete opportunity to relax. And you will meet and greet all of the staff ahead of time. We will send out emails detailing who they are and what they do so that the credentials of these people are well known, open for the world to know, and easy to understand how this all works with safety involved.
The value proposition hopefully is clear, but let me just reiterate it. So for one fee, because we've put in all the cost of, you've already calculated the cost of the staffing ratios 1 to 3. You've already calculated in the cost of meeting the passengers at the airport and at the hotel, having a social the night before we leave for the cruise the next day. You've calculated in my fees for speaking and the consulting piece of this. The value is that this is a family memory that like no other. It's a great Christmas gift if people want to purchase this as a gift for Christmas for their family. You'll also receive all of this knowledge and information and expertise and a partial aging plan through the seminars that the caregivers will attend while their loved one is in daycare having fun. So and then just the excursions as well. And just the cruise experience itself is just such a gift. So you've done such a great job of just like building this beautiful business model that really serves families in a pretty difficult time in their lives. And I just want to commend you for that, for this huge value that you bring to these families that go on these cruises. So November 30th till December 7th, this year, 2024, when we post this podcast, we'll have obviously the link where people can learn more and sign up. But just in case they're listening to this and not reading something, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Directly on my personal phone, which is 219-608-2002. And the website that will have all of these details, everything that we have said, and then many more details, including a lot of pictures, is located at Elite Cruises and vacationstravel.com. And that website will hold the information for this specific cruise event.
Excellent.
So,
this is exciting. I'm really happy to be partnering with you and really making a difference in these families' lives. So thank you for all that you do, Kathy, and just for still being a pioneer in the industry. It's a pretty special feeling to have that. So
every single trip is just amazing in a totally different way.
Sure.
And these clients feel like they become our family because it's such an amazing privilege to help them enjoy living and to provide enough support to their loved one that they can stand back and enjoy her. They get to be her husband for a week instead of having to be the total babysitter caregiver.
Yep. I love it. I am so glad that we reconnected and are putting this all together and just making such a big difference in the lives of these families and helping these family caregivers feel restored so that
Mhm.
they feel like they're not alone and they're educated and they can make some informed decisions, but just also just feel restored and like they get more grit back to be able to jump back into it.
Well,
So
we have many clients that travel with us repeatedly.
that
So do know that the Annalee has a whole bag of tricks of full powered educational pieces of helpful info. And we're not going to impart all of it in a simple 7-day cruise.
exactly. All right. Thank you so much. Is there anything else to mention, or are we all set?
I think that the white glove approach to the personalized care of whatever you need to have us help with, we're available to do.
24/7. No matter if you get in a jam at 3 a.m. or someone gets sick, there's physicians on the boat. You're covered no matter what happens. All right. Very good. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you. Thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
Very good. Me too.
Thank you for tuning in to the Care Right podcast. We hope today's discussion has provided you with valuable insights. If so, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with others who might find it helpful. Remember, Care Right is more than just a podcast. It's a community dedicated to supporting family caregivers with comprehensive care planning, crisis management, and resources for every stage of aging. Stay connected with us for future episodes as we continue to explore essential topics in aging planning, elder care, and financial planning. Until next time, take care, plan wisely, and remember, you're not alone in your caregiving journey.